Did you know on the lock screen by swiping right, you can quickly enter your camera, but not only that, on the shutter button on photos, if you have to take a video, just long hold the shutter and it's going to start recording. And then if you slide your finger to the right like so, it's going to continue recording, bringing up your hand, but you still have the access of a shutter button right here to continue taking photos while you're recording. And if we do switch to video mode and you start recording but you continue long holding the record button, you can zoom in and zoom out to get those cool cinematic effects while recording videos. And then if you have a live photo, by tapping the live icon on top, you could do an endless loop without using any third-party software. You could do a bounce effect as well. And then when shooting with light, you could actually enable long exposure and you come up with some amazing light effects all off the camera. But now let's say you want to share this photo to an Android user, but they don't have access to live image capabilities to like long hold. If you go on your shortcut app in series shortcuts and go ahead and go into gallery and type in GIF, this first one where it says make a GIF, install that. And now whenever you launch this shortcut, select that image, and just like that, you created a GIF from a live image that you have already previously taken a picture of, and share that to the Android user. How's it going, everyone? And yeah, in today's video, I'm sharing you 15 amazing things you could do with the camera on the all-new iPhone 15 Pro, as well as the 15 Pro Max. And some of these features can still apply on older iPhones, so long as they're using the 48 megapixel sensor. So like the iPhone 14 Pro, as an example, could also benefit while watching this video. So I'm gonna share with you 15 of those amazing things right here and now. So if you haven't yet took advantage of the 48 megapixel camera, I highly recommend adjusting your images to 24 megapixel instead of by default 12 megapixel. Just go in your iPhone settings and scroll down into camera, and right here where it says camera, click on format, and where it says photo mode, select 24 megapixels. The benefits of going with the 24 and the 12 is images will be much clearer, sharper, and when you look at the photo estimate how much data it will gather, it's only going to gather 1 megabyte more, so it's not going to take up that much space, and honestly it's kind of worth it. Another tip I like to show you is the capability to lock white balance. Now there's a couple ways you could do this. One is you could do it manually each and every time by just launching the video and just long hold on the screen on the subject you want to auto lock focus on, but slide up and down, and this will lock that white balance. But if you like this to be a default capability, just go into your settings, back in the camera tab, and in video recording, scroll all the way down and select lock white balance. This way, whenever you're shooting a video and you move from a shadowy place to a bright room, it's not gonna disturb the video. Now, all iPhone 15 Pros have this capability, and that is the capability to record in res log. The beauty about this is it will gather more data as if you're shooting literally a raw video basically, and will allow you to adjust it with a third-party app or even first-party app if you're using the camera photo app on your iPhone, which will allow you to gather the exact color style that you like to record your videos at, much more accurate and free to adjust basically anything. Now by default this is turned off, so if we go back to our iPhone settings and back in the camera and go ahead and go into format and enabled Apple ProRes, and then make sure the encoding is log. Now if we launch the camera app and you have an external SSD or even a flash drive like with a USB-A, I recommend more than 64 gigs. I'm just using a 32 gig thumb drive, but make sure it's 3.0 USB, and you can utilize these like USB-A to USB-C adapters. So you can literally make something like this on the go and plug it into your iPhone, enable ProRes, and right down here it shows us that a USB-C is indeed detected, and we have about 8 minutes of recording time with this resolution, and you can select 4K if you wish. It will update the time, and you can lower the FPS to squeeze as much memory as much as possible. But don't worry, you don't have to have this on hand, an external drive to record, as you can still utilize the internal memory that's available on your iPhone where it says free resources right here. I highly recommend taking advantage of this. But this is amazing because this actually lets us to basically create anything that we like in terms of like our video style via using third-party or first-party apps. Now before we move on, I got a lot more cool stuff to show you, but first, quick word from today's video sponsor. Guys, if you're looking for excellent earbuds that doesn't break the bank and are powered by a reputable brand like Anker, you gotta check out the Soundcore Liberty 4NC. They feature all the latest specs, Bluetooth 5.3, they are water resistant, and they feature active noise cancellation, which reduce noise up to 98%. Thanks to its hardware of active noise cancellation 2.0, with the capability to adapt to every ear canal shape and the ability to adapt to any environment. The earbuds illuminate, giving a futuristic vibe. With powerful magnets, these will not easily fall off. And when you're wearing these with the proper silicone tip, they will not fall off. The Liberty 4 NC come available in a variety of different color options to choose from. This right here is the light blue. They deliver crispy, clear sound for all genres of songs, as these are high-res wireless certified and feature LDAC high quality transmission. And then with all this impressive hardware, they can still last up to 10 hours under a single charge and 50 hours in total with the charging case. As the original price of the Liberty 4 NC earbuds is $99, but there will be a $20 off discount during the 2 days of Fall Prime Day, which will reduce the price down to $79. So if you'd like to pick up a pair, make sure to click on the link in the description down below for more information. Thank you Soundcore by Anker for sponsoring today's video segment. Now, a new feature for iOS 17 is our first camera can actually switch between 35 to 44 millimeter zoom. And if you like to customize this capability, just need to go into your iPhone camera settings one more time. Actually, we're gonna go there a couple of times. Go to your camera and scroll down where you see main camera. Here you can have all of them enabled, and you can select the desired millimeter you'll like to be automatically default at. So 1.5x or 1.2x. This is basically the main sensor. Now, if you ever have to capture a portrait shot, new this time, you no longer have to actually like adjust everything on the go as you're like about to take the photo. New feature for iOS 17 and the iPhone 15 Pros is by going into your settings and having to set up first and go into your camera where it says, and scroll down to portraits in photo mode. By enabling this, and we go ahead and launch the camera app, and you take a little quick selfie shot, you could actually, it gives you the freedom to go back and select portraits right here, and you could adjust the portraits right here live instead of having to actually take the portrait shot right then and there and adjust it as you're taking the shot. You can always take that photo and adjust it later, as you can make the background clear or the subject blurry and vice versa. You can also still adjust the studio light if you wish as well by tapping the top corner. So now you can take that shot, and again, not having to worry about doing it right then and there. We could always take the shot and go back and do it later. So the subject that it does support is dogs, cats, person, and it will gather that depth information. Now let's talk about powerful UI tools. On the photo mode, you always have the capability to actually like long hold to get the exact zoom in percentage. Anything past this large number right here with a bunch of lines is digital zoom. So once you're for the iPhone 15 Pros, you're at 3 times zoom. From my understanding, the iPhone Pro Max can actually go at 5 times zoom before it becomes a digital zoom. And even at the digital zoom, there's certain cases you'll see like a square right there showing you where you are at that video, or live feed I should say. And then by long holding right here on the Heif Max, what basically this is, it's a special compression that Apple developed which allows you to capture photos at 48 megapixel resolution and save them in a compressed file. And when you compare it against Pro RAW, Heif Max is much more lighter weight and approximately about 5 megabytes. Thus, Heif Max offer an ideal balance for quality and space efficiency for your iPhone. And in the RAW 12, it's basically a RAW photo, much larger than Heif, but will capture it in 12 megapixels. And then the RAW Max, same story, more data, but with the full 48 megapixels. To most people, Heif is perfectly fine, but for those professional shoots and you don't have your DSLR, sometimes RAW Max is worth it, especially if you have a computer in hand that you're going to export the file to and start editing on a computer, freeing up the storage on your iPhone. You could just long hold and select these 3 different modes. And this dot that looks like a water splash, if you enable this will be how you turn on your live or non-live photos. Your night mode's located right here. Your flash, you can turn it on or off from here. If you tap this up arrow, you'll find additional tools in here as well. But the most important tool right here is your little timer. And we go ahead and select the default camera and we go back to this front facing camera, you can always tap the arrow icon to make it wider. So if you're trying to do like a group gather selfie, you could totally do so. In the video mode, the most important UIs you gotta think about is if you have ProRes, you can enable it or disable it from here. Your frame rate, you could adjust it by simply tapping on the number, as well as the resolution. HD is full 1080p, and then 4K is obviously 4K, and the timer, all that good stuff right there. And that's basically it. If you're wondering why I have the rule of thirds, if you like to go ahead and enable this, as well as the little nifty leveler, by going into your iPhone settings, and again on the camera tab, scroll down where it says components, enable grid and leveler. So that's how you can enable those useful tools. Another nifty tool is the view outside frame. By enabling this, whenever you take a photo of a subject and you're using like a square radius, in case you want to move the radius more, you can always go into your edit and then crop that image, and you can see your iPhone actually captured the outside image as well from that outside frame. And the cool thing about this is you have 30 days to go back before your iPhone will delete that outside frame image. So very similar to how you delete photos, you have 30 days to go back and edit this in case the subject was out of frame. You can always just go on your crop tool and edit it. It's super nifty and handy. Now another nifty tool I like having enabled personally is the volume up for bursts. Due to the fact you could also create GIFs this way as well. By long holding on the up arrow, up volume icon, you could take a photo burst right here. And by tapping select after you've done that, you could go back and choose which one you want to be the main photo subject. But if you go into your shortcuts, there also is a convert burst to a GIF right here. And by selecting that burst and let it process, you create another GIF that lasts longer than a couple of seconds. So if you take a long photo burst, you can create these long duration GIFs. I'll have this shortcut linked in the description down below. Now another handy tip about the photo camera app is you can preserve your settings. So as an example, if we go back into our camera, and instead of by default always constantly taking us to photos, you can have it that will take off where you last left off, so you don't have to switch. To enable preserve mode, go into your iPhone settings again for like the 5th or 20th time, I swear. Go into cameras, and where it says preserve setting, enable photo mode, and if you scroll down and read the description, you can preserve other things too, like the action mode, as well as the Pro RAW and resolution control. But by enabling the photo mode as an example, it's going to resume back to video where we last left off. And there you guys have it. Those are the amazing 15 things you could do with the iPhone 15 Pro camera and really utilize this amazing sensor to its full potential. If you'd like to go back on some previous topics, timestamps are in the description down below. And in case you're curious what case I'm using this one by Banks. It's an aramid fiber case with a nice like gunmetal buttons on the side. They're super clicky. It does cover the whole screen, so there's a bezel raise around here. So if I do drop this device, it doesn't damage it. There's also a nice raise right here on the camera, and this is made out of aluminum, so it has that cold touch feel. And then in case you're wondering what kind of wallet attachment I'm also using, this is from ESR, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, this is an ESR wallet. The amazing thing about this, the wallet's super powerful. It takes a lot of effort to actually make this to fall off, and it has a built-in kickstand. But the biggest selling point for me is the fact that it has Find My built in. So I can actually go back and backtrack my wallet because it does have a built-in speaker, so it can help me locate it faster if I misplace it. And it can hold up to 3 cards max. It also has this little finger loop thing I could use to hold my iPhone if I want, but I primarily do this, to be honest. But landscape mode and portrait mode is supported with this case. And it does include a rechargeable USB-C cable, which connects via magnets to charge this internal battery. That could last about 2 months or 3, from my understanding. I haven't had to charge this yet, and I've owned it for a couple of weeks now. So yeah, I'll have these products linked in the description down below. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to watch more, I highly recommend checking out this video over here where I cover everything new for Apple TV, including how to install a VPN to your Apple TV so long as you're on tvOS 17. Thank you so much for watching.